Hi there, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. Behind this tree here is one of my apricot trees that's not seeing any light. So today it's time for a chop and drop on this tagasaste tree. Back in early autumn, I did a chop and drop on a lot of the tagasaste trees out in my food forest, and lots of them are growing back beautifully, like this one here, that's in flower and giving the bees something to enjoy. But I didn't take enough of this tree here that's really grown well right from the get-go. I really need to take out that middle branch there and maybe trim some of these other branches. This tree is not far off flowering, but I have found when I've done a late pruning of these trees in the past, they do just flower sort of later on in spring once they've regrown. Because the tagasaste next to it grew so quickly right at the start, this little apricot tree has had barely any light. It's really time to give it some love and remove half of this tree, so hopefully we can get a harvest of apricots one day. So what I'm going to do today is try and take this middle branch out, the biggest one, and open the canopy up a little bit. Then I'll adjust the rest of the branches according to how much light this tree is then given. I have to sharpen my little chainsaw, so I'm going old-fashioned today and giving this a go. Not quite the timber I was hoping for, but it is free. Now to get it out. Already we can see more light on this little tree, but I might just, while we're at it, trim these branches here, but I'll leave that longer one there for the moment because that's not impacting on it at this point. But we'll just trim out those two. Part of this tree was just about to go to flower, but I've got a lot of tagasastes in this food forest which are all flowering. So it's just a matter of doing some of these tasks just when I have time. Otherwise I just won't get them done. Lots more sunshine in now. I'm just going to leave that tall branch there because I don't want to take too much of this little tree as we're in winter at the moment. I will trim that one further as we kick into spring and all of these start to shoot a little bit more. I'm very mindful, having killed a couple of trees because I've gone too hard at the wrong time of year. I'm very mindful of not doing that. So I like to leave plenty of tree so that it can still get the sunshine and get its needs met. So that's the major chop part done. Now it's getting this drop to the ground. I will just leave that mostly intact. If I had my little chainsaw, I might chop it up a little bit more, but I'll just cut these larger branches off it and just leave that in place on my swale to break down slowly. And I'll get this chopped and just laid around my productive trees. I'll just leave this branch like this until my chainsaw becomes active again. I'm just going to park it in the middle of this swale, just in around where my non-productive trees are, so they don't get in the way of anything I have to harvest. With all the branches distributed, all I'm going to do now is just chop them up a little bit more so that they kind of flatter to the ground and able to conserve moisture and not dry out too much when summer comes. The system starts to look after itself. This little bird's eating one of the snails. Support nature and nature supports you. Go get it, little bird. Well, that didn't take too long. The thing I love about food forest gardening is you're managing for one problem, like the light for this tree, but you always end up rewarded with a pile of mulch. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already and hit the notify button to make sure that you're made aware of when I publish my videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.